The Coast to Coast, an English national walking trail stretching approximately 190 miles from St Bees on the coast of the Irish Sea to Robin Hood's Bay on the coast of the North Sea, passing through 3 national parks: the Lake District, the Yorkshire Dales and the North York Moors. The Coast to Coast is one of the most popular walks in the world, and after watching others attempt it on YouTube, I decided that this was going to be my next challenge. Previously, I had completed the West Highland Way and the South Downs Way, but this one was to be the toughest by far, its length being almost as long as both previous walks combined. I gave myself 10 days to complete it, and would mostly be camping along the way, so I'd be carrying a heavy backpack as well. Over the next 3 videos, you'll see exactly how it went. The highs, the lows, and everything in between. So without further ado, this is my experience of the Coast to Coast. After arriving by train in St Bees around 10 in the morning, I made my way to the beach and the starting point of the Coast to Coast. I grabbed my pebble, as is tradition, and climbed up the coastal path towards the lighthouse. From there, it was going to be a 17.5 mile hike to my first camping spot, Dale Water. The first real challenge of the day was a climb up Dent Fell. It was a struggle. Unfortunately, there wasn't much of a view. I was now about a mile away from what most people would say is their first stop for the night, Dale Bridge. But I was going a little bit further along to Dale Water. After filling up, I made my way across it, which turned out to be trickier than I expected. I'm no stranger to a bit of scrambling, but doing it with a heavy backpack on did make it quite awkward. It also didn't help that there was another bit, even steeper than the first. Of course, a bit later, I saw that those climbs were completely avoidable had I just gone this way instead. A bit more walking and I finally made it to my stop for the night. A bit shorter than I was planning, but after having a late start, it was getting a bit late and I didn't want to run out of daylight. It was about 9 o'clock at this point, so I was certainly ready to call it a day, and after having some dinner, that's exactly what I did. The next day, and I had a 14.5 mile walk to Borrowdale ahead of me. After a while, I reached Black Sail Hut and started my climb up the fells. It was here that where I met Drew, and would be walking with him for the next couple of days. After making it to Borrowdale, we set up camp for the night. Day 3. A 14-mile trek to Patterdale ahead. First, we had to climb up Linning Crag. just outside Grasmere, and we are making our way to the Traveller's Rest, an inn just by the route, where I had ordered a venison burger, which gave me the energy I needed to make the climb up to Griesdale Tarn. It was at this point that I would be leaving Drew, but as it turned out, not for long. I had made it to the hostel in Patterdale, where I'd be staying for the night. Day 4, and after having breakfast, I got back out on the route towards my next stop, Shap, 16 miles away. But first, to Angle Tarn. This is the point where some people make the mistake of heading on to the high street, where really you have to turn left towards Kidsley Pike. At over 700 metres above sea level, Kidsley Pike was to be the highest point, not just for today, but for the entire route. Although you couldn't really tell. Anyway, it was now a steep climb down to Haweswater Reservoir, which would be the last lake I passed in the Lake District. passing the village of Burnbanks and crossing over this bridge into farmers' fields, I had made my way out of the Lake District, which I was quite happy about. And although my day had not come to an end yet, the lakes had, and so it was time to say goodbye to them and look forward to the next national park on my journey, the Yorkshire Dales.